Hello friends, welcome back to Stan's Cutlery Universe. And today it's Sunday, October 4th, and I thought I would just do a kind of a recap of my Fatwood Friday epic fail. I've gotten some really interesting and good information. Few people said that my chunks were too big, but I've also read that you don't want to make them too small while you're storing them because they'll dry out, evaporate quicker. So I can still break them down smaller next week Friday. Pete, Jersey Knife Guy, actually made a video. I haven't watched it yet, but he in his comments said I should have made some fluff from it, kind of like Dirty Old Patch did. So, you know, it's a learning curve. I have not lit anything with a ferrocerium rod in probably 12 years. I think the last thing I lit was dryer lint. And that lit up pretty quick. But, you know, it's a learning curve. And at first I wasn't sure if I was going to share that video since I failed so badly. But then I was like, you know what? Failure is part of life. If sometimes you don't fail at a project or something, you don't learn. And what I've learned here is some more tricks or secrets or whatever you want to call them, concepts to hopefully next Friday I can start a good Fatwood fire, have everything go, and be able to have a successful experience at this. The other thing I wanted to share is I wanted to show you how well the knives handled. When you've seen the buck, it has covered in sap and everything and, you know, resin. I cleaned it up. I just used some alcohol on it. It fared absolutely great. This was a great carry yesterday. This is the 846. Great carry yesterday. Truly enjoyed carrying it. And very happy with it. Now, a bunch of you are probably saying, yeah, what about that Pakistani piece of crap? Excuse me, I'm going to open up a Coke Zero. My whistle's getting dry. Oh, that hit the spot. Well, the Pakistani piece of crap is right here. When I was finished with it, you seen it was burnt. Had a ton of crap on it. The one little brass piece fell out on this side. I'm going to try and find it. If I can find it, I'm going to try and put it back in there with some resin, or not resin, but epoxy. But the blade turned out fine. And literally all I used, I got a little bit still there on the, yeah, a little bit still there. I didn't see that last night of resin and stuff. You can see it right there. All I did with this is I took alcohol, same as I did on that. I put alcohol on a paper towel, cleaned it off. And then I oiled this, of course, because, you know, it's Damascus. It was already in that short little bit, it was starting to, I don't want to say turn, but you could see, if I would have not taken care of it right away last night, it would have, it probably would have rusted some. But that's what you take care of your knives. You know, these are tools. I'm really impressed with, there is like virtually nowhere on the, where I was striking the ferrocerium rod. There is nowhere, there is no dings in the blade. It fared very well. Now, am I saying every Pakistani blade will fare as well as this one did? No, I'm not saying that at all. There's multiple manufacturers over there. It's like buying something even from the United States. One manufacturer is very good at this aspect of it. One's very good at that aspect of it. Doesn't mean they're both really good at it. It's just what they do good at. Oh, I'm trying to think what it is. It's that like bird that does that like kook, 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 kook noise. Can't think what it's called. One of them. I haven't heard one of those in years. I'm sorry. But yeah, it held up really good. That is the only where the little filling came out there. That's the only thing. And I'm going to have to look for it. I forgot to look for it last night. I'm going to have to look for it, see if I can find it. Because like I said, if I can find it, I'm going to put it back in and put some epoxy on it. If not, I'm going to try and pop out the other side and put epoxy in both. But yeah, the knife held up wonderfully. I'm not going to lie, out of the whole ordeal, I'm probably the least held up. My arms and shoulders hurt from all the striking I was doing. With my medical conditions, it's not a good idea for me to be doing that level of activity for that long. But my brain, my stubbornness got me into I wanted to get that fire lit. And even though I ended up in a failure, like I said, I learned. Good life lesson. It's only a failure if you don't learn something from it. If you learn something from it, it's just a stepping stone. And what I learned is I made a couple of mistakes that hopefully next week I can rectify, and I can successfully get a nice fire going that will be nice, and I can sit there and do the whole challenge properly. But like I said, I wanted to share the failure because it's another thing I think I've noticed on YouTube. People always show their successes, always. There's not so many out there that show and share their failures. So, a lot of times us as viewers, when we're viewing, we're like, wow, Johnny's always successful every time. Look at that. Well, you don't really know that. How many takes was it? Was that take 674 and he's failed 673 times? Now if that had happened, I give Johnny the credit that, hey, he kept going for it until he got it. But, YouTube is a perspective. I could have just never shown that. I could have cut and made it look like I started it, went and got a torch and got it going. That would have been easy enough. You all would have never really known because I was facing onto the fire. I could have got it lit underneath, struck, and went, oh, look, it's going. I could have cheated and put like some dryer lint underneath there. I could have cheated and put some, I have some solid fuel bars that you just break a little piece off. And we used to use them in the Marine Corps. You'd cheat to be able to make a little fire. And they burn so hot you can't even see the flame half the time. I could have done that. That would have lit right up and I would have looked like a hero. But the thing is, again, it's not real. It's cheating. It's, you're not doing what this was for. And I think not only the Fatwood Challenge is not only for calling other channels and saying thankful and being, calling them out, saying, hey, come and do this with us. It's also to learn. Because like I said, if I would have just yesterday done that and never shared it, what would I have learned? Okay, I can fail and never let anybody know that I fail. Well, the big thing in life and big thing for me is, this might sound rude to myself, but I fail at a lot of stuff. I fail almost daily at stuff because some people go, oh my gosh, you're saying you're a failure. No, I fail at almost daily because I always try to do things. I try to do this. I try to do that. It sucks when I'm not successful, and I don't enjoy it when I'm not successful. But if you don't try things in life and try to do things, you end up to where you get in your little comfort zone, and that's all you ever do. And I don't want to be one of those people. I have a grandson, that's just turned 1. He's just, he's learning, he's growing. And I want him not to be afraid of failure. Because, when you're afraid of failure, you never take that chance. You never go for it. You never give it the shot. And there's so many people that have lived their lives safely that wish when they're dying, that are like, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. And I've lived a lot of my life like that. And I'm no longer doing it. I am going to take the chances. I am going to go do things. I am going to try to live life to its fullest. Sad that I'm 53 and it took me about 50 of those years to learn that. Because I could be the guy with the pain and everything. I mean, I'm hurting like hell today. My pain level's a 6. I've been taking meds to try and curb it. If you notice, I'm not raising my arms a lot. My hands might come up, but I'm not raising my arms because, I don't want to get it like that. But I'm grateful that I failed yesterday. Failure helped me learn. Helped me learn some of my limitations because of the pain I'm in today. It helped me learn the limitations of this knife, which I'm glad to say successfully made it through, and I'm proud of it. It helped me learn what not to do with fat wood and what to do with fat wood. It helped me to learn what this buck knife could do, how good of a knife it really is. And it helped me to learn to be humble. And it helped me to find out people that are willing to give some suggestions and say, Stan, you did a good job, man. You just should have done this or should have done that. And whether they're right or wrong, I'm assuming they're probably right because they seem to be the successful ones that I've seen be able to get fatwood lit with a ferrocerium rod. It let me learn these things. And I learned that ferrocerium rod JC gave me, that thing is awesome. That thing showers some sparks. And JC, thanks again for that, my friend. I appreciate you. That was an awesome gift. I enjoy using it, but I think once it gets down to a certain level of use where it's not too much of it left, I'm going to put it up, and that's going to be a background piece on the channel, because I never want to forget the friendship, you know. And I know I won't forget it, but you know what I'm saying. I hope, anyways. But yeah, I learned a lot yesterday, and I'm still irritated by my failure. I'm not going to lie. That there's part of me that wants to go out there and try and get it going today. But I know if I do tomorrow, I probably won't move at all. Talking more about the Pakistani knife. You know, this wannabe tracker, Tom Brown tracker, you know, with the design. It's very good. I did notice some of these pins feel, I don't want to say loose, but they got a little sharpness to them now that they didn't have. So I don't know if that, no, it doesn't look like they're moving. So I might just have to do a little sanding on that or something. Fill in where it fell out. The sheath, I really like that knife. The sheath sucks. Absolute sucks. This is such a piece of crap. So I'm going to probably try to figure out how to make something myself for it. You know, because I am doing some leather crafting now. I might kind of follow the pattern that this has and make one similar, but change how it does, how the pins, these rivets are pushed through, because I've had these on other ones you put your belt through, and these pins just pop right out. I'm not trying to be abusive to it, but this one's actually pinned pretty good, because yeah, I had one where I literally just put my belt through and I went pop, and I was like, okay, that's no good. So yeah, the Pakistani knife, I'll give it 9 out of 10, actually 8.5 out of 10, because it lost that pin. I'll give it 8.5 out of 10. That irritates me. I don't like stuff coming out. And they know they put that in there, they should have secured it better. On the sheath, I'll give it a 3. And the reason I'm giving it a 3 is because it does a very good job of this. It does a great job of maintaining it, but it's a piece of garbage overall. So overall, full knife review, full knife grade on the Pakistani knife with sheath is probably, well, you take a 3, 8.5, that's 11.5, half that, you're at 5.75. Is that right? 5.7, 5 point, well, something like that. I'll give it a 5.5 overall. So, you know, it's up to you guys if you ever want to try and buy one. But I guess what I'm saying is don't be afraid just because it's Pakistani. Give it a shot. You know, for the price these things are, you can pick these things up. I picked up a group of them for, I want to say, like $20 with free shipping. Okay, if it's a piece of crap, it's a piece of crap. But if the steel's good, I could always rehandle this with something cool and build myself an awesome Damascus knife. And it's real Damascus. It is real Damascus. It's not painted on there. I had somebody on one of my shorts, oh, that's paint. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Thanks for watching, you know. It's like, it's not paint, buddy. It's just, you know, it's not top-end quality Damascus, but it is Damascus. Sorry, I gotta get a drink. And, thank you all. So far, all the comments I've gotten on my epic failure on my Fatwood Friday have been positive. Just trying to, hey, Stan, good job at trying to do that. You know, good job at showing this. Good job at that. And then trying to give hints to help me for next week to get it lit. So I appreciate that, because anybody who makes content knows there always seems to be that 1 or 2 people that have to, and it's usually not regular viewers, that have to put something in there that's kind of, what's the word I want to, I know the word I want to use, but I'm not going to say it on here. Yeah, I will. Jackholish. I was going to say a little bit different, but, you know, I just want to say something to be disparaging. And I usually don't let it get to me, but sometimes it hurts. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the friendships. That is the biggest thing that I've gained through this YouTube channel. And hopefully, maybe doing some travel. Maybe I'll be able to come and see some of y'all. I mean, yeah, it'd be fun to get to meet some of y'all. My wife's got to get her schedule freed up to where she can do some flying. I can do some flying. She has been so busy with work and everything, so we'll see what happens, and it'll be fun. Again, though, seriously, don't be afraid to try them. I mean, I'm not trying to make knife sales for Pakistani. You know, buy them if you want to, don't if you want. They are good-looking knives, and they do hold up okay. Like I said, I have enough of them to know some of them are total crap. But what I try to do is I try to find somebody that's selling and that the price is fair. Get one, test it out, because generally they get it from the same supplier in Pakistan. And generally, if one of the knives is good, they all are. And I've also found the same thing on the other end. Generally, you get one knife and it's a piece of garbage, rust instantly and stuff like that. Then they're all going to be that, you know. So just word to the wise, word to just try and be friendly and let you all know that, you know, sometimes that's just how things happen. So, yeah. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you all for watching. Sorry. Had a lot of fun trying to figure out how to start that fat wood yesterday. Paying the price today, though. But a lot of that is because I'm way out of shape, too. But it is what it is. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all of you. Live long, prosper, and collect your own way.